me, let them
Sure,
know a
sure,
little about me.
sure.
So
Okay,
I'm excited.
first of all, tell us, Brandy, about yourself.
Myself, I am a 51-year-old transgender activist and a
Hmm.
dynamic public speaker.
Hmm.
So I incorporate my story and my journey of my transition, discovering my gender identity, and expressing that gender identity and that journey that has brought me on that, and the education that I have got going through that experience to really understand what is gender identity,
Yeah.
what is gender expression, and how do we perform these identities and these expressions.
Hmm.
So I tell my story of coming out, but I also explain what it means to be transgender and what it means in our society to have a labeling system
Yeah.
that is a binary system, and why not everybody fits into a binary system. So that's at the crux of my talks that I'm doing currently.
Okay. All right. Okay. First of all, tell us, as a dynamic speaker and transgender activist, how do you tailor your messaging to effectively engage diverse audiences and promote understanding and inclusivity?
Oh, yeah, that's an interesting question. Thank you. Yeah, for me, my target audience is general public.
Okay.
I want to reach out to people who, for most people, they don't have transgender people interacting in their life on a daily basis because, let's face it, transgender people are about 1 to 2% of populations, and this is across our human species. So any culture you're going to look at, any society, if you look at that society through a binary system, like we have gender A or gender B, or box A of gender and box B of gender, and we have all of these labels that we just put into those boxes. When a person expresses their inner identity of themselves, most people will fit into a box A or box B. And we call them cis people. That's kind of the definition of cis. I like to see a quick definition of cis is if you agree with the gender assigned to you at birth, then you are a cis person. So most people in our society are cis people. About 98% to 99% of everyone in society are cis people. So they can ask themselves, what is my gender identity? And most times it's going to align with that label that was placed on them when they were born based on their day one sexual characteristics, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
day one, everyone's born. They look at these little babies and they go, oh, look, this baby has a dangly part between their legs. We're going to put him into this box A of gender. This baby doesn't have a dangly part. They go into box B of gender. And then in these societies, and most of them, like where I grew up in the United States, we have this concept and we just think it's so within our culture that we think is across the species, that since we have this binary labeling system, it should also address your sexual orientation, right? So they'll say, hey, you're a box A baby, you have a dangly part. So therefore, you should be sexually attracted to box B people,
Hmm.
right? And so that's the concept we have. So, like in my journey, I talk about how